Hello guys, Absolute Duelist here coming at you with another One Piece video, and in today's One Piece video, I have for you my first match of my first OP04 locals, and this is going to be an interesting one because OP04 obviously has just come out, it's a new experience, it's a new time to play, and I've chosen to bring Rebecca to locals, and we're against a Rob Lucci player, so it's going to be interesting to see how this matchup kind of goes, because I haven't really done a lot of play against Rob Lucci to see where the deck actually goes, because obviously, Rebecca is a black deck, it plays cards that can't be KO'd such as Kyros, so it's going to give Rob Lucci a bit of a hard time, but at the same time, Rob Lucci is a deck that can put a lot of aggression onto Rebecca, which is a deck that does need to protect itself a lot. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes, and it looks like we're getting into the game now, so let's see how it's going to go. It looks like I did win the dice roll, and I chose to go, well no, he chose to go first, he won the dice roll, so I actually lost that, and we chose to take the True Bastardo Sword with the Rebecca ability, and he's going to rest 2 to go ahead and play that brand new. So Rebecca is a deck that wants to go second as well, guys, so just like every other black deck, we want to go second because it gives us additional power and additional abilities, such as being able to play more characters, always use the Rebecca ability, but we're going to go ahead and start our turn 2 by using the Rebecca ability and also playing the Colosseum and also getting another Rebecca to just look at the top 3 cards of our deck, getting more advantage on the board, so that's pretty good for us. We're getting our hand bigger, we're getting to the point where we can play more cards, and it looks like he's just going to go in for a 5k swing. Very good against Rebecca because of it, they keep fighting Rebecca, it's going to be very hard for them, and he's going to swing another 5k into the lead, so we just counter, having to drop a 2k counter, which is a bit unfortunate because we would rather not do that, but let's see how this is going to go here. But he does have 2 Don up, so let's see how we're going to plan out our Don here. Are we going to go ahead and try and swing with the Rebecca? Are we going to play more characters? Like, it looks like I might have 6 cards in hand, so we could probably go ahead and use Rebecca's ability to look at the top 2 cards and add a Dressrosa type card. Let's go ahead and see what's going to do. But it looks like we're going to rest all 5 Don, playing a Cavendish, and then we're going to use Cavendish's ability, well, we're going to swing with Cavendish, and then use his ability to rest the leader to trash 2 cards without killing a character. Basically filling up our trash a bit more to thin our deck to get to that lovely number of 15 that we want to be on in this deck. But the Rob Lucci's turn now, he's got some cards to play. Let's go ahead and see what he's going to do with 6 Don. Like, what could he play? He could play a Sakazuki here. No, he's just going to go ahead and swing for 7 into Cavendish, funny enough. And he's going to rest the 4 to go ahead and play an Air Door. Okay, so he's on the CP9 version. And let's see what he's going to play off of the Air Door. Like, there's probably a lot of cards he can play. And he's going to go ahead and play a Fukuro, which is pretty good. Like, Fukuro as being an unkillable blocker is going to be great against me just because it means that I can't kill it with the Cavendish ability by decreasing its power. Like, all I can really do is be forced to swing into it with my Cavendish by putting 1 Don on it. But we're going ahead and using the Rebecca ability, which would add us a card, and we're going to play another Rebecca as well to go ahead and get another card. So we're just filling up our hand, thinning out our deck and getting more into the trash. But it looks like I'm debating if I want to just swing straight into this Fukuro to try and just kill it in general. So it looks like we're going to swing 7 into the Fukuro, using the ability to trash the top 2 cards and killing nothing again, just filling up our trash. And we did trash another Kyros. We've trashed 2 Kyroses so far, which is a little unfortunate because it's the one card that can't actually be KO'd. Then we're going to put 4 Don onto our Rebecca and swing into Lucci, which he does choose to counter out with a Tashigi. Very good there. And this is actually fun because of this is a match against someone in my locals who actually works for the store, so it's nice to actually get a chance to play against him for once, because he wants to play the game all the time, but it's kind of unfortunate when he's always working, so he doesn't really get the chance. So it's cool to actually finally get a game against him, especially seeing as he seems to be really into the game too. But he's going to go in and swing 8 into life, which we do choose to take, and it looks like we got a True Bastardo Sword there, but we didn't use it because obviously there was nothing to kill. And he goes in and plays a Borsalino. Wish he played that first, because it means that the True Bastardo Sword would have been very good, but our leader is rested, so I don't think it would actually been able to trigger now that I think about it. But anyway, we are on our 9 Don turn now. What are we going to do on our 9 Don turn? Like, there's a lot of different things we could do here. We're definitely probably going to want to swing with this Cavendish into his Borsalino, just so we can go ahead and get rid of a blocker, which would be very good on our end. But let's go ahead and see what we're going to do. So it looks like we're resting 5 Don to play a Sabo blocker, making all of our current cards unkillable, which is very good. And then we're going to trash 2, being the True Bastardo Sword, and what else? A Hyrugian. Okay, so we get rid of the decrease, and we also get rid of a kill shot card. interesting choice on my part. Maybe it's because we've already got decreased cards in our hand and it's not really worth keeping them now. But let's see, we've got 4 Don. You could just put it all on the Cavendish and swing into the Borsalino, starving him of resources. But he is still on 5 life, so we might just want to go in to start swinging into life a bit so he can deal with things on the board. Like, if we keep him on 5, it's going to be a bit of a problem. So we're going to go ahead and swing 8 into the Borsalino, trashing 2 again. Because we just want to keep filling up our trash, keep getting it big numbers, so then later on when we play the 7-drop Luffy, we can just have a lot of things in grave, be able to use the King Kong gun as well, being able to attack twice, which would just be good. But he's going to go ahead and drop 4 cards, I think that was 4, maybe 3 cards to go ahead and protect the Borsalino, and we go ahead and drop a blocker and pass. So we drop the IDO. Now this is the Lucci's turn 10 Don turn, so he's got some options that he could potentially be doing now. I'm pretty sure he added an E-show earlier on in the game, so he could go ahead and drop that now, which would be pretty decent. It doesn't really get rid of any cards in our hand, I think. We might be on 5 cards now. No, we're on 6, so he does choose to put 1 Don on Rob Lucci, swinging into, I think, possibly the Cavendish. Trying to get rid of that, because it is the thing that's going to let me swing into the blocker. We just go ahead and choose to do 2k counter it. So that might have been into life, actually, now that I think about it. But let's see what he's going to do from here. He's going to pay 1 Don to go ahead and play a Spandam, which will allow him to look at the top 3 for a CP card. And he goes ahead and grabs a Fukuro. Very good card to add, just another blocker in general. But as long as I've got this Cavendish, his blockers are not safe. So it is a bit of an iffy situation for him. And he's going to go ahead and rest 3 to play the Fukuro. He's going to rest 5 to play a... Ooh, okay, so he's going to go ahead and play a Kaku, which is going to kill the blocker that wasn't protected by the Sabo, because Sabo only protects which were currently on the board, and the IDO came onto the board after the Sabo was played. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and restand with our Cavendish here, and we're probably going to end up swinging into, like, the Borsalino, and because if we're in this point, maybe we'll go ahead and play a decrease card as well. Oh, we got the 7-drop Luffy there, though, which is good, so maybe we won't play a decrease card to go ahead and decrease the Kaku and swing into a blocker as well. Like, it looks like, yeah, we're just going to drop the 7-drop Luffy, which is very strong here because it means that we can go ahead and put 1 Don onto the Luffy, and we are going to do that, and we're going to put 1 onto the Cavendish as well, and we're going to swing into the Fukuro and kill the Spandam here. Very good, and then we're going to swing... Oh, so the Fukuro was actually supposed to die, but it didn't actually die because we swung into it, but he didn't kill it yet. But we're going to go ahead and swing 8 into the Borsalino. And then we're going to go ahead and return 7 cards in our trash now. Thinking carefully of what we want to put back, like maybe putting back removal, blockers, 2Ks. Like, that's normally what I do put back, with maybe potentially something else to just have, like, board presence as well. And obviously 7-drop Luffys if they go there. And then we're going to restand the Luffy, swing again into the Kaku. And then his Kaku just dies. And he did think I was attacking into life, but I can't attack into life with that Luffy the turn it's played, sadly. Like, the Colosseum isn't that broken, guys. So, he's going to go into his refresh phase, restands everything, and it looks like he's just debating what he wants to play. Like, he could play the E-show that he's been holding for a while now. Like, that wouldn't be bad. Like, it was probably best to play it earlier, though. Like, where would he go with this? Like, I think we are now on 5 cards, but he's going to go ahead and put 4 onto the Lucci, and I think he's just swinging into life. Like, at this point in the game, he is on high life anyway, so I think he can afford to, like, be somewhat aggressive without needing to worry. But we're going to take the life, and then he's going to rest 6 to play a Sakazuki, and he's going to go ahead and kill the Cavendish, finally getting it off the board. Like, that Cavendish has put in a lot of work this entire game, just dealing with blockers and everything. And we go to our refresh phase now and just restand everything, other than the Luffy, because it is frozen due to its own ability. So, looks like we're going to rest 4 to go ahead and play the True Bastardo Sword. Because we got 15 or more cards in trash, we can just go ahead and kill a 6 cost or less, which is very good for us. And let's see what we're going to do from here on. So, it looks like we've got 6 Don left. We could just go ahead and do some big swings here, maybe do multiple swings with the Rebekahs, but no. Looks like we're going to rest some to play an Olympus. We're going to go ahead and use the Rebekah leader ability to go ahead and add another 7-drop Luffy here. And then we have 1 Don left. So maybe it's just a pass, or we could swing with the Sabo. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to swing with the Sabo, getting a life off of him now. Especially seeing as his hand is pretty depleted. Like, we don't really need to worry too much, which is good for us. So he's on his draw. He's got 3 cards in hand now. What could he potentially do? Dropping the Isho now is probably a bit late because we've got the ability to decrease it. We've got the ability to deal with majority of his board. And if we've got 6 cards in hand, and it looks like we do have 6 cards in hand, he does gain the advantage by playing the Isho, but at the same time, I think the Isho is a bit late at this point where we have just a ton of characters on board. We've got the 7-drop Luffy on the board. We've got the Olympus. Like, we've got the Sabo as well, which is rested, so we'll have that for follow-up turn. But I think he really just needs to focus on killing this 7-drop Luffy. So he's going to go ahead and swing 6 into life. Bit of a misplay in my personal opinion. We choose a 2k counter, and it's a misplay because he could have just played the Isho to get rid of cards, but it looks like he wants to go into a blocker turn. So he's going to go ahead and play the Fukuro, and he's going to pay 5 and put 1 onto a Blueno. But those two are pretty much going to die, which is a bit unfortunate here. And then we draw for turn, and let's see what happens. So we're going to go ahead and decrease the Blueno. We're going to kill, decrease the Blueno with the Olympus, go ahead and kill the Rebecca, and then we're going to play the Kyros, which will kill the Blueno, and I believe we did rectify this, but he didn't play anything off the Blueno, so we rectified it later on in the game. So we're going to go ahead and swing 7 into the Fukuro, and then we're going to use the ability of Luffy, putting back a ton of cards here, just putting back 7 cards in general of just like good things that can remove characters, that can protect me with blockers or 2k counters, just cards that we can utilize to the best of our ability. And then we're just sorting out the order as well here, just thinking what needs to go where. Then we restand the Luffy, and then we've got a load of Don left, so we're going to rest the 7, trash that Rebecca to go ahead and play another 7-drop Luffy, and then we pass for turn. Okay. So he goes into the refresh phase, and I believe we do fix it here, where it's just like, oh, he goes ahead and puts a character on the board, then I'm like, oh wait, you should have played something off the Blueno, that's fine, you can go ahead and put something on the board, and then I just go ahead and attack it again, if I remember correctly. So that is something, like, he doesn't get to play a lot, so I wanted to give him, like, at least a fair game. Like, as I said earlier, he's mainly working majority of the time, so, yeah, let's go ahead. So he puts it on the board, and then I'm just going to swing into it anyway with the Kyros, and then it dies, and then we pass, and then he gets his draw, and then we're going to go into his actual turn. Like, be nice to people, guys, who don't get to play very often, because they are really the community that we want to see in the game. So you're going to go ahead and swing 7 into the leader. Do we choose to counter out? I don't think we need to. We choose to block and counter, though. Okay, so we have 4 cards left in hand. He's probably just going to drop the Isho now because he's had it for the entire game, pretty much. He should have played it a lot sooner, in my opinion. But nonetheless, it's still a very good card to play here. So he plays the Isho, and we have more than enough cards in hand, and then he just goes ahead and passes turn. So he's on 4 life now. Let's see what we're going to do. We're going to rest 3 to go ahead and King Kong gun the 7-drop Luffy, giving it double attack. And we're going to go ahead and swing for, well, 13k into life. He's going to air door, getting him back a character. I think it comes in rested, if I'm not mistaken. No, it must not come in rested. Okay. So he plays the Fukuro, gets nothing. We're probably going to swing with the 7-drop Luffy, yeah, the non-double attack 7-drop Luffy. Then we use the ability of the Luffy, putting back 7 cards in trash, back to the bottom. Then we swing again for another 13. And then I think we just put all of our Don onto the Kyros, and yeah, we swing for game there. So we do a very, very big swing. He counters out as much as he can, but that's not enough to win the game, so it is done there. But guys, that was my first match of OP04. Hope you did enjoy it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and be ready for the second match of my first locals of OP04. See you in the next one, guys.